Good morning. This is the Mighty Eagles Academy. Now, under today's presentation, we'll try and look at the other important topic which you can find in your exam. Okay, so this question is coming from the topic known as Seco theorem. Okay, it's coming from the topic known as Seco theorem. So now, under this Seco theorem, there are some laws that you need to understand. You cannot answer the question under Seco theorem if you do not know these important laws. Let's start with the first one. Okay, let's start with the first one. So the first law states that the angle on the circumference, okay, or the angle on the center, okay, let me use the word center, okay, the angle on the center is twice the angle on the circumference. Okay, the angle on the center is twice the angle on the circumference. So our center here, it's this is a D. Okay, this is my D. So this is the whole circle. Okay, this is the whole circle. This is, I'm having angle A, B here. I'm having angle B here. Okay, I'm also having an angle C here. I'm also having angle D here. Okay, so now the first law states that the angle on the center here, okay, is twice the angle on the circumference. Okay, these angles, they're touching the circumference. Okay, they're touching the circumference. Okay, so the angle on the center is twice the angle on the circumference. Okay, so let's take it for instance. Okay, let's take it for instance. Here my angle A was 80. Okay, my angle A here was 80. Okay, so now according to the first law which says that the angle on the center is twice the angle on the circumference. This is my this one is A is touching the circumference, it's also touching the circumference. So this angle which is here is going to be twice the angle. Then we multiply it by 2, then that answer that we're going to get is the one which is going to be angle D. Okay, so I'm going to say 80 times a 2. Okay, 80 times a 2, it's giving me a 180. Okay, it's giving me a 160. So this 160 is going to be the angle which is where on the here on the middle, on the center. Okay, so now for you to get this angle again, you need to divide this by a 2. If you divide this 160 by 2, you're going to get the angle which is where on the circumference. So now if you do 160 divided by a 2, okay, here I'm going to have 80. So this is the angle which is A. So this is the first law. Okay, this is the first law. The first law states that the angle on the center is twice the angle on the circumference. Hope it's clear. Let's move on to the second law. But let's try and let's proceed. Let's proceed. So we're having these other angles in it. Please don't mind about my drawing here. Okay, don't mind about my drawings here. Okay, so now the second law states that angles that are on the same circumference, or angles that are on the same segments, okay, here where they are passing, where they are touching here. Okay, this one touching, it's touching. So angles on the same segments, angles on the same circumference, angles on the same arc, they are equal. Okay, angles on the same circumference, same arc, same segments, they are equal. Okay, if this is 2, this is also going to be 2. This is also going to be 2. If this is 10, this is going to be 10. This is going to be a 10. If this is 50, this is going to be 50. This is going to be 50. That is the second law. Okay, let's talk about the other law. Okay, let's talk about the other law. So now the other law states that angles, okay, angles in a semicircle. This is a semicircle. Okay, this is a semicircle. A semicircle is an angle which is in the semicircle is the angle is this one which is halfway. Okay, like the way this protractor is. Okay, semi. Okay, semi. but if it's fully, it's a full circle. Okay, if it's fully, it's known as a full circle. Okay, so now angles in a semicircle. Okay, angles in a semicircle, they do what? They are always 90. So this angle, it's a 90 degrees angle. Okay, angles in a semicircle, they add up to 90. Okay, 90 angles in a semicircle, they are always 90 degrees. So A here, it's 90 degrees. Okay, this is the other law. Okay, so very important laws. Let's go to the other law. Okay, let's look at this angle. Okay, let's try and look at this other question. So now this is the other law. Okay, this is the other law. This law states that opposite angles, are you able to see? I'm having the shape inside here. Okay, I'm having the shape here. It's like a box, the rectangle. Okay, so now I'm having an angle A, B, C, and D. Okay, so this, the opposite of this one is this one, the opposite of this one it's this one. Okay, so now this law states that whenever you're having this one, you get it from this law, which states that opposite angles, they add up to 180. Opposite angles, so the opposite of this one, it's this one, the opposite of this one, it's this one. Okay, so opposite angles here, they add up to 180. Okay, so opposite of this one is this one. So this and this, they are supposed to add up to 180. This and this, they are supposed to add up to 180. Okay, so now if this one is 100, if this one is 100, this one is going to be, if this one is 100, okay, this one is going to be, this one is going to be 80. Okay, like this. If this one is 100, this one is going to be 80. If this one was 100, this one could have been 80. Okay, if this one was 90, I mean, if this one was 90, this one could have been 90. Okay, so 90 plus 9 plus 9, which is 8. So 8, yes, 180. Okay, so this one and this one, so if this one was 9, if this one is 90, even this one is going to be 90, because opposite angles, they add up to 180. So 9 plus 9, 18, 0, 180. Okay, this is the other law. Let me show you the other law. Okay, let's continue. We are having this other format. Okay, we are having this other format. So the line BC, okay, the line BC, this is the tangent. Okay, the tangent. So the tangent is always outside of the circle. Okay, outside of the circle. So BC is the tangent. Okay, BC is the tangent. There are also some other things that you need to consider, like the chords, the diameter, the radius, and some other things. Okay, so let me start with the tangent. Okay, the tangent, this is the tangent is just a straight line of the circle.